If your mornings have grown too quiet and your confidence feels like it's slipping through your fingers, I get it. I've seen this story play out in thousands of men I've cared for. You wake up and something just feels off, not broken, but distant, like a part of your identity has gone into hiding. And the worst part, you start to believe this is just what getting older looks like. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be this way? Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, MD. I've spent over 3 decades helping men in their 60s, 70s, even their 80s reclaim not just their energy and strength, but their sense of self as a functional medicine physician. I've guided thousands through personal health transformations without prescriptions or invasive treatments. My approach is rooted in science but powered by simplicity, and I believe in the body's natural ability to heal when given the right tools. I've published best-selling books, advised top athletes, and led cutting-edge wellness programs. But the greatest success stories I've seen often start with the most unlikely solutions. In this story, it starts with a vegetable. Most men think declining performance is all about low testosterone. But the truth I've learned sometimes the hard way is far more surprising. It's all about blood flow. Not just whether your heart is strong, but whether that vital oxygen-rich blood is reaching where it's needed most down there. And the secret to restoring that flow isn't found in a pill bottle. It's sitting quietly in the produce aisle, overlooked by almost everyone. Today, I'm going to share with you what it is. I'll show you exactly how it works, when to use it, and why men are calling me weeks later saying, "Doc, it's like I woke up for the first time in years." This isn't magic, it's science. And it starts with one simple act: how you begin your morning. I want to begin by dismantling one of the most damaging myths I've heard again and again in my office. "Doc, I guess this is just part of getting older." No, it's not. The idea that men lose their ability to perform simply because they've passed 60 is not only false, it's harmful. It robs men of hope, of motivation, of their sense of agency. You see, I've treated men from all walks of life: factory workers, retired Marines, school teachers, and many of them came in believing their best days were behind them. But after reviewing their labs, listening to their stories, and looking beyond the surface, I've found one consistent thread: poor circulation. Not hormones, not aging, not genetics, just blood flow. Here's what most men don't realize: the key to strong, lasting erections isn't testosterone, it's oxygen-rich blood flowing freely through the arteries, especially the tiny vessels in the pelvic region. And that flow depends on a molecule called nitric oxide, which your body produces naturally when you're young. But as you age, nitric oxide levels drop by more than 70% after age 60 in many cases. When nitric oxide drops, your blood vessels stiffen. They lose their ability to expand, to fill, and the result, a trickle of blood instead of a surge. It's not about losing desire. It's about losing the physical capacity to respond. That difference is everything. I remember one patient, George, a 68-year-old retired firefighter. He looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I think I'm just past my prime," I told him gently. "George, your prime isn't gone. It's just hiding behind a wall of poor circulation." The good news, that wall isn't permanent. It can be broken down naturally, gently, and powerfully. And it starts not with medication, but with what you put on your breakfast plate. In the next section, I'll reveal the one vegetable that's helped my patients rebuild their blood flow, sometimes within just 7 days. When I first started recommending this to my patients, even I had my doubts. Could something this simple, a vegetable, of all things, really spark such dramatic changes in blood flow and performance? But then I saw the results, and not just on paper, in real men's lives. The secret beets? Yes, plain old beets. The deep red root vegetable most of us overlook or push to the side of our plates. But within that humble root is something powerful: dietary nitrates. When you eat beets, your body transforms those nitrates into nitric oxide, the very molecule we've just discussed. This isn't a theory. It's science-backed, real, measurable. And when nitric oxide levels rise, your blood vessels relax, expand, and allow blood to flow freely, including down there. One of my patients, Ron, was 71, a retired airline mechanic. He hadn't had a full, natural erection in over a year. We made one small change every morning: 6 ounces of beet juice by week 2. He called me with a mix of surprise and emotion in his voice. "Doc, it worked. I feel like myself again." You see, increased blood flow from beets doesn't just help your heart or brain, it targets your pelvic region too. The sponge-like tissues in the penis that fill during arousal, they respond directly to that restored flow. And that means firmer, more reliable erections. But it goes even deeper. When circulation returns, men report sharper energy, renewed confidence, and emotional intimacy restored. I've seen this transformation happen in plumbers, pastors, and truck drivers. Their secret wasn't some high-end supplement or expensive treatment. It was beets, a natural, affordable, everyday food. And yet, it's not just about eating beets. It's about how and when you eat them. That's what I'll show you next, because just adding beets isn't enough unless you do it the right way. I know what you're thinking. Okay, Doc, beets might work, but what's actually happening inside my body when I eat them? And trust me, I used to ask the same question. I needed to understand the science before I could truly believe it myself. But once I did, it changed everything. Here's the breakdown. When you eat a beet, you're not just taking in fiber or antioxidants. You're feeding your body dietary nitrates. And these are the raw ingredients your body needs to produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, as I've said before, is a gas and invisible chemical messenger that tells your blood vessels to relax and open wide. That one message unlocks so many changes, and the process, it starts the moment you take a bite. In your mouth, friendly bacteria on your tongue begin converting those dietary nitrates into nitrites. Then, as you swallow and your food reaches the stomach, your body converts those nitrites into nitric oxide. That transformation happens quickly, sometimes within minutes. Men have told me they feel a difference right away. Clearer thinking, better energy, even a slight warmth in their hands and feet. That's circulation waking up. And over time, when you stick with this habit, the blood vessels throughout your entire body, including the ones leading to your manhood, respond more and more. One of my patients, Walter, age 68, described it like this: "Doc, I didn't think I'd ever wake up feeling ready again. But after 2 weeks of beet juice, it was like my body finally remembered how to work." Beets also reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and protect your arteries from damage. That means they're not just helping you feel better today, They're building the foundation for long-term vascular health. So yes, a simple beat can spark major changes. But how you use it when you take it, and what you pair it with, can make or break your results. Next, I'll show you how to time it perfectly for maximum circulation boost. If there's one thing I've learned in my 30-plus years as a physician, it's that timing is everything. You can eat the healthiest foods on earth, but if you take them at the wrong time or in the wrong way, your body won't absorb their full benefits. And with beets, this couldn't be more true. Let me be clear. Morning is your golden window. Why? Because when you first wake up, your testosterone levels are at their natural peak. Your body is rested, your blood vessels are more responsive, and your stomach is empty, perfect conditions for nitric oxide production. This is when beets shine. I usually recommend drinking half a cup of fresh beet juice first thing in the morning, before breakfast, before coffee, before brushing your teeth. Yes, even before brushing. That might sound strange. But here's the science: the friendly bacteria in your mouth are what begin the nitrate to nitrite conversion. Use strong mouthwash or brush too soon, and you may wipe out those crucial microbes. That means less nitric oxide and fewer results. And the preparation doesn't have to be complicated. You can roast beet slices, toss a small one into your morning smoothie, or simply mix a scoop of high-quality beetroot powder into warm water. I've even had patients use it like a daily shot. Just a quick sip and go. What matters most is consistency. Let me tell you about Paul, a 72-year-old former mail carrier. He started each morning with a beetroot drink and a short 10-minute walk. That's it. Within 2 weeks, he wasn't just feeling firmer erections, he was laughing again, showing up more in his marriage, feeling like himself again. That's the power of doing something simple, but doing it every single day. And if you're wondering whether the morning matters that much, let me assure you it does. Men who follow this routine in the morning see results faster and more consistently than those who take their beets later in the day. It's not about more. It's about better timing. Coming up next, we'll talk about a critical mistake many men make without realizing the foods you should absolutely avoid in the morning if you want this to work. Over the years, I've seen too many men sabotage their own progress without even knowing it. They follow my advice, drink their beet juice every morning, but still don't feel much of a change. When I dig a little deeper into their routines, the culprit becomes clear: breakfast mistakes. You see, what you eat with your beets matters just as much as the beets themselves. Let me give you a common example. One of my patients, Jim, a retired firefighter in his late 60s, came to me frustrated. "Doc, I'm doing everything you said. Drinking beet juice, walking, watching my stress, but nothing's happening." We reviewed his breakfast: bacon, eggs, white toast, and coffee. Classic American. Delicious, sure. But for circulation, a nightmare. Processed meats like bacon and sausage are packed with sodium and preservatives that constrict your blood vessels. And the refined carbs: white bread, sugary cereals, muffins, cause blood sugar spikes that crash your testosterone and increase inflammation. Then there's the caffeine. Too much coffee on an empty stomach ramps up cortisol, your stress hormone. That tightens blood vessels even more, cutting off flow right when you're trying to boost it. I'm not saying you can never enjoy those foods again, but if you're serious about improving blood flow, the first hour of your day needs to support healing. So what should you eat instead? Try a boiled egg, a few almonds or walnuts, or avocado on whole grain toast. These foods are rich in healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals that work with your beats, not against them. They support nitric oxide production, protect blood vessels, and help regulate hormones. Think of it like tuning a car. The right fuel gives you power. The wrong one clogs the engine. Your body works the same way. And trust me, once you experience the difference between a sluggish morning and one where your blood is flowing freely, you'll never want to go back. In the next part, I'll share why, when you eat and care for your body, specifically in the morning, can change more than your circulation. It can reset your entire sense of self. There's something almost sacred about the early hours of the day before the emails, the noise, the responsibilities. For many of my patients, that time becomes more than a routine. It becomes a turning point. You see, mornings are biologically primed for healing. As a physician, I've spent decades observing how the male body works, especially after 60. One thing is clear: your testosterone peaks in the morning. Your blood vessels are more responsive. Your brain is sharper. Your body is ready to absorb nutrients and respond to healthy habits. That's why the first hour after waking is what I call the golden window. If you want to reboot your energy, improve blood flow, and reclaim your vitality, start there. I remember one patient, Frank, a 72-year-old former Marine. He told me, "Doc, I don't want another pill. I want a mission." That mission became his morning ritual: beet juice, 10-minute walk, and a better breakfast. Within 3 weeks, he wasn't just stronger in the bedroom, he was sleeping better, engaging more with his grandkids, and even smiling more. All because he took ownership of his morning. This isn't just about biology, it's about psychology. Starting your day with intention rewires how you see yourself. Are you someone who skips breakfast and feels sluggish by noon? Or are you someone who wakes up with purpose and gives your body what it needs to thrive? That question changes everything. So when I tell my patients to drink beet juice before their first meal, I'm not just giving dietary advice. I'm helping them reclaim the reins. Because when you win the morning, you build momentum. You walk into your day with more energy, clarity, and confidence. And those small wins add up. In the next section, we'll dive into what to expect once you make these changes. The timeline of real results might surprise you, and it's exactly what gives so many men the hope they thought they lost. One of the most common questions I get from patients is, "Dr. Hyman, how long until I actually feel something?" I understand the skepticism. When you've spent years feeling like your body's letting you down, it's hard to believe that a simple habit like drinking beet juice can spark real change. But let me tell you the truth. Your body is always listening. And the results, they come faster than most expect if you're consistent. In the first few days, many men notice subtle changes: easier mornings, sharper focus, less fog. That's your circulatory system waking up. Blood is flowing more freely. Oxygen is reaching places it hadn't in a while. By day 5, that boost in nitric oxide really kicks in. Your hands and feet feel warmer. Energy doesn't crash mid-morning like it used to. For some, there's even a small spark of confidence that begins to return. And then comes day 7, what I call the turning point. That's when many men wake up and feel something they haven't in months: a spontaneous morning erection. Not forced, not artificial. just natural blood flow, doing what it's supposed to do. One patient called it a quiet miracle. I couldn't have said it better. By week 2, physical and emotional changes intertwine. Responses to touch feel more alive. Energy becomes more consistent throughout the day. A few men even notice lower blood pressure without changing anything else. But the magic happens by day 30. That's when it becomes more than a change. It becomes a foundation. I always remind my patients, you're not forcing your body, you're supporting it. Day by day, inch by inch. And in return, your body shows up for you. The key is not perfection. It's showing up every single day. In the next section, we'll go even deeper into how this small morning habit becomes something greater, how it transforms into a ritual that restores not just your energy, but your identity. There's something sacred about the quiet of the morning, before the texts, before the noise, before the world demands your attention. It's in that stillness that transformation begins, not just of the body, but of the self. Over the years, I've witnessed this time and again in my patients. When they take the time, first thing in the morning, to care for themselves, to sip that beet juice, to breathe, to move gently, they're doing more than boosting blood flow. They're reclaiming their masculinity. And let me be clear, I'm not talking about masculinity the way movies sell it. This isn't about how much weight you can lift or how many conquests you've had. I'm talking about that quiet confidence, that deep knowing that your body still works, that you still matter. Take Martin, a 74-year-old retired firefighter who lost his wife 3 years ago. When we first met, he was soft-spoken, distant, like a man who'd quietly retreated from life. He didn't think he was worth fixing. But he tried. He began a simple ritual: beet juice at sunrise, a walk around the block, and 3 deep breaths by the window. 3 weeks later, his voice was lighter, his eyes brighter. "Doc," he said, "I feel like I've woken up." And he had. Because this ritual wasn't just restoring his circulation, it was restoring his dignity. You see, when you make the decision every morning to nourish your body, to show up for yourself, that message echoes far beyond your arteries. It seeps into your spirit. It reminds your heart, your hormones, your manhood, I still care. I'm still here. This morning ritual becomes a mirror, one that reflects the version of you that you thought you'd lost. Strong, steady, capable. But even with all this, most men still miss one final, crucial step. A truth that makes the difference between a temporary lift and a lifelong transformation. And that's exactly where we'll go next. If you're still here with me, then I want to speak to you, not just as a doctor, but as a man who has walked this road beside thousands of others. I've seen the quiet shame, the late-night Google searches, the drawer full of pills that didn't deliver, the hope that fades a little more each year. And I want to tell you this. From the bottom of my heart, you are not broken. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. Your body still hears you. And more importantly, it still wants to respond. Sometimes, all it needs is the right signal. For many of my patients, that signal came in the form of a simple beet, a vegetable ignored by most, forgotten on grocery shelves, yet bursting with the very power their bodies were starving for. Not just to boost blood flow, but to remind them of who they are: men with purpose, with dignity, with strength still left inside. I've seen this transformation happen not in sterile labs, but in real lives. John, a 68-year-old trucker who hadn't had a morning erection in 14 months, called me in tears after 2 weeks of our beat protocol. "Doc," he whispered, "I didn't just wake up hard. I woke up hopeful." That's the word that sticks with me, hopeful. Because this isn't just about sex. It's about what it represents: energy, vitality, life. But let me be clear, none of this is magic. You don't get to skip the work. You don't get to cheat time. What you get is a choice. Each morning, to show up for yourself. Because every time you sip that juice, prep that healthy breakfast, or go for that walk, you're telling your body, "I'm not giving up on you." And your body listens. So let this be more than a routine. Let it be a ritual, a declaration, a line in the sand that says, "I'm done surviving. I'm ready to thrive." You deserve that. You've earned that. And if you're willing to keep walking with me, we're not done yet. Every journey needs an anchor, a habit so rooted in purpose that it steadies you even when life feels uncertain. For thousands of my patients, that anchor has become a simple morning ritual, a glass of beet juice, taken not as a chore, but as an act of self-respect. Let me be honest, it's not always easy. The world doesn't stop to applaud your effort. Your family may not understand. Your friends may shrug it off. But over time, your body does notice. Quietly, at first deeper sleep, fewer bathroom trips, warmer hands, and then confidence, connection, even desire creeping back in. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about claiming the version of yourself that still exists, not the 25-year-old athlete, but the 65-year-old warrior who still wants to show up strong. And strong doesn't always mean hard muscles or fast reflexes. Sometimes, strength is the quiet discipline of drinking a crimson glass of beet juice at 6 a.m. when no one's watching. It's the strength to say, "I'm worth the effort." You see, real healing doesn't happen with flashy pills or secret hacks. It happens in repetition, in showing up for yourself every morning, even when progress feels slow. It happens when you listen to your body's whispers before they become screams. I once had a patient named Thomas, 74, a retired Navy officer. He told me, "Doc, I've fought many battles in my life, but the one with my own body was the loneliest." When he began this morning ritual, it wasn't just his erections that returned. It was his laughter, his posture, his fire. He didn't feel like he was fading anymore. He was rising again. And I want that for you. So I leave you with this final truth. It's not about the beet juice. It's about what it represents: commitment, belief, and the courage to reclaim your vitality one morning at a time. Because no matter your age, you're still here. And being here means you still have something to fight for: your strength, your spirit, and your story. As we bring this journey to a close, I want you to take a deep breath and let it all sink in. You've just walked through not just a science lesson, not just a nutrition tip, but something deeper, a reminder that your health story isn't over yet. Maybe you felt forgotten by your doctors. Maybe the spark in your relationship has dimmed. Maybe you've started to believe that slowing down is the only option left. But friend, I'm here to tell you your body wants to fight for you. It just needs you to fight with it. And it doesn't have to be complicated. No fad diets, No insane gym routines. No shame. Just a small act, repeated with care. A simple glass of beet juice in the morning. A healthier breakfast. A mindful walk. One step becomes two. One day becomes a week. One quiet victory becomes the foundation for change. If you're feeling uncertain, that's okay. Every transformation starts with hesitation. But I want you to remember what Thomas, my patient, said to me after a few weeks of building this habit. I stopped waiting for someone to save me. I became my own rescue. You have that same power right now. So tomorrow morning, as the sun peeks in through your kitchen window, pour that glass. Take that first sip. Smile at the man looking back at you in the mirror. He's still got it. He just needed a reminder. And if this video gave you that reminder, even for a moment, I'd be honored if you'd leave a comment. Share this message with someone you care about, or simply subscribe for more tools to support your journey. This isn't goodbye. It's just the beginning. You're still here, you still matter, and the best part of your story might just be the chapter you're about to write.